Hey, I'm gonna do a video on the homework from 4.5. Maybe help y'all out with a few of these. Number one is just really quick. You just need to make sure you don't divide by 0. So you just need to make sure that 8 minus x 0. When does that happen? Well, it happens when x equals 8. You want to exclude that. Now, interval notation takes a little getting used to. So the answer to number one excludes 8. So you go negative infinity to 8, and then you put a parenthesis there, which means don't include 8, union 8 to positive infinity. And that's how you answer number one there. Number two, another domain problem, but this time you got a quadratic. So we've learned how to solve quadratics, and so here we go. Got a factor x and x. Now 35. What are the factors? Well, 5 obviously goes in there, and it goes in there 7 times, and the difference between 5 and 7 is 2, so it's looking like the factorization would be x plus 5, x minus 7. Now, so that means that when x is minus 5 or positive 7, we get a division by 0, so we want to leave those out of the domain. So here's how you write it. So you start at negative infinity, and you go all the way to minus 5. You put a parenthesis because you're going to leave it out. And then you go to 7. You put a parenthesis because you're going to leave it out. Union 7 to infinity. I don't think you usually put the plus there, but I think it would accept it either way. Anyway, there's number 2. And we are moving on. Now, the domain of a function is related to the asymptotes of a function, where you have these undefined spots produces an asymptote. And so on number 3, that's the first thing we do is looking for the asymptotes. So just like 1 and 2, we actually set the denominator equal to 0 and solve, and you get x equals plus or minus 6. Now, you can do that by factoring this. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. X and x, 6 and 6, and minus and plus. So you get two problems, one at 6 and one at negative 6. So that produces asymptotes. So at minus 6 and at positive 6, there'll be a vertical line, and this function will be undefined there, and will create vertical asymptotes. Now, later we're going to see in another example where you have to be careful what's in the numerator, but our numerator just has a 5, so there's no problem with a 0 divided by 0. So vertical asymptotes are caused by a division by 0 as long as the numerator is also not 0. So our vertical asymptotes are x equals 6 and x equals minus 6. You put a comma in between the two equations. You actually need to write x equals 6, x equals minus 6. It's actually the equation x equals minus 6, the equation x equals positive 6. Vertical lines. Be sure and choose A. All right, continuing on. Oblique asymptotes, we're going to see a little bit later an example of an oblique asymptote, but there is no oblique asymptote for this one. Oblique asymptotes are caused when the degree in the top is 1 higher than the degree in the bottom, and that's not the case here. All right, so we'll see an example. We have to use long division. We'll see that example later. As far as horizontal asymptotes, there is a horizontal asymptote, and that is y equals 0. That occurs when the degree in the top is smaller than the degree is less in the numerator. Degree is more down in the denominator. Y equals 0. Whenever you have that relationship less, then you'll get a y equals 0 horizontal asymptote. Now it's an equation, so you actually write the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. All right. And the last thing we want to do is we've got to pick the right picture. Now we know it has a horizontal asymptote, but it has a vertical asymptote. So these guys are out because they don't have 2 vertical asymptotes. So we're looking at C or D. Let's get out our calculator because the answer is in our calculator. So So let me get in the right mode. I need to be in func mode. We're going to hit y equals. We're going to type 5 divided by, and we got x squared minus 36. I think a standard window makes sense. I need to also get in connected mode. All right, here we go. Let's do a zoom, a Z standard. And here's our graph. And these little funny things going on here, those asymptotes. It's actually struggling with the asymptotes. Let's choose the window exactly like what they have, which would be -12 to +12. And then notice the y-min is actually quite small, -2 to +2, and hit graph. Now it's going to look a little bit better. At least it's going to look a little bit more like what we're seeing. And those vertical asymptotes are what's causing those crazy connections there. So we are clearly C, and that is that. All right, we'll come back in a little bit and do another video. Thanks for watching.